Now I will explain about variables and variable assignment in Snowflake scripting. Okay. In Snowflake scripting, we can declare variables in two places. Okay. So what is meant by Snowflake scripting? Already I told. The stored procedures written in SQL language in Snowflake is called Snowflake scripting. Okay. So in this Snowflake scripting, we can declare variables at two places. So in the declaration section and in the body section. So if I want to declare the variables in the declaration section, I can simply give the variable name and the corresponding data type. So if I want to declare a variable of a numeric type, I can give the data type as integer or decimal or number, like that. Okay, so in the declaration section I can declare the variables just simply by giving the variable name and its data type. And if I want to put some default value for that variable, I can put by using the keyword called default. So the syntax will be variable name space data type space default and the default value for that variable. Okay, and in the body section also we can define variables by using the keyword called let. So in the declaration section, no need to use any keyword to declare the variables. We can simply declare the variables in the declaration section. But if I want to declare the variables in the body section, I have to use the word called let. This is the keyword to define variables in the body section, like this: let space variable name. Okay, so if you want to assign some value for this, so you can use either colon equals to or default. Okay, so if I want to assign a value for this variable which I am defining in the body section, okay, so I can use either of these two things. I can put a default value, or by using this colon equal, I can assign a value to this variable. Okay, so this is another example: let variable name data type, okay, and the value. So if you don't specify data type, based on the value you are providing or based on the value you are assigning here, it will take the corresponding data type. Otherwise, if you want to mention the data type explicitly, we can mention. Okay, so this is how we can declare the variables in Snowflake scripting. So here the data type can be, so here I mentioned, right, data type, data type, data type. So what data type we can use? So it can be any SQL data types like integer, okay, varchar, string, date, timestamp, number, decimal. So whatever the normal SQL data type we can use. So these are also called data types here: cursor, result set, exception. So while explaining the declaration block, I told you, right? So these are also the data types, and we'll discuss about these data types or these concepts in the later sessions. Okay. So I hope you understood how we can declare variables in Snowflake scripting. Now let's see how we can assign values to these variables. Okay, in Snowflake scripting, we can assign a value to variables by using default. So I just mentioned, by using default also we can assign the values to variables, or we can use this colon equals to assign the values to the variables. Okay, this is one way. The second way is, and this is one point, first point, and second point is, so if I want to access these variables in my program, so how to access? So if I want to, suppose I have defined a variable called a equals to some value 10. Okay, if I want to use that a inside the program, so how can I access that? So we have to use this colon symbol in front of that variable. So I have to mention like colon a. Okay, so this is mandatory while using the variables in the SQL statements. Okay, but not mandatory in the normal statements, like while checking the if conditions, okay, or doing some arithmetic operations or string operations. This is not mandatory. But if you are using a variable in the SQL statement, so you have to use this colon mandatorily. Okay, so whenever we are calling these variables by using this colon symbol, we call them as bind variables or binding variables. Okay, so what are the variables denoted with this colon symbol, or sometimes we access the variable values by using this question mark symbol as well. So whatever the variables we are accessing by using this colon symbol or question mark symbol, we call them as binding variables. So while explaining the programs, I will come to this point again and I will show you. Okay, so how we can use this binding variables inside the Snowflake stored procedures. Okay, and third point is by using select statement also we can assign the values to variables. Let's see how. Okay, so below are few examples how we can assign values to a Snowflake variable. Okay, so in the declaration section I told you, right? So this is my one of the variable first name. Okay, the type is varchar and the default value I am giving is this is, so this is the value, okay, of the variable first name. And full name, so there is another variable with the name full name of type varchar. In the begin section I want to define two more variables, middle name, and I am assigning a value empty string. Okay, so I am assigning the value by using this colon and equals. Okay, so this is the empty string I am assigning to middle name variable. And another variable, uh, so let last name default. Okay, so what is the default value of this last name? Okay, I am assigning the value Snowflake scripting. Okay, now I am doing one string operation. I am concatenating all this first name, middle name, last name to get the full name. Okay, to get the full name. So how I am doing that? Full name equals to, okay, so full name, even while performing some operations, okay, if I want to assign the expression or value to this variable, I have to use this colon equals to symbol. Okay, so full name equals to first name concatenate middle name concatenate last name. So what is the symbol I am using for concatenation? Okay, so this is the double pipe symbol. This is the concatenation operator in uh, in most of the databases. This is the concatenation operator, the same in Snowflake as well. Okay, so what is the value of this first name variable? This is, okay, what is the value of middle name? So it's empty string. And what is the value of last name? Snowflake scripting. So whenever you concatenate all these three variables, so what is the result? This is space Snowflake scripting. Okay, so that value will be assigned to this full name. Okay, so this is one way how we can assign or concatenate the variables and assign to another variable. So there is another way. So in the last point I mentioned, right? So by using the select statement as well, we can assign values to variables. So let's see how. So I am simply doing it like select. Okay, I am just using this concatenation operation again. Select first name concatenate, middle name concatenate, last name. Okay, so this is the expression. Select, calculate this value and put it into full name variable. So we use this into keyword to assign the variables, to assign the values or expressions to this variable. Okay, select this expression or put some value into the variable specifying here. Okay, so by using this select statement as well, we can assign the expressions or values to variables. So while writing the stored procedure, okay, so at many places we'll show you how we can assign the values to variables by using a expression like this or by using the select statement like this. So based on the requirement and based on the scenario or situation, so we can use either of these both ways. Okay, so session variables, there is another concept called session variables. So what is a session in Snowflake? Suppose you have opened a Snowflake SQLator window and you are running some commands there. So that is called one session. Okay, so in that session you can define session level variables and the scope of those variables will be until end of that session. Once you close that session, those variables will be deleted and you cannot access those variables anymore. Okay, so those variables are called as session variables. So how to declare session variables? Okay, in the Snowflake SQL editor, it can be a Snowsite or classic web UI. So you can declare and assign variables, session variables by using a keyword called set. Set a equals to 10. So this will be like a numeric. Set name equals to Jana. So this is of type varchar. If I want to set multiple parameters, multiple session variables by using these braces. Within the braces, we have to specify the variable names equals to, and again within the braces, we have to specify the values of those variables. So at the end of this statement, so 100 will be assigned to B, 35 will be assigned to C, and Hyderabad will be assigned to place. So this is how we can um, declare session variables, one or more session variables. Okay, these session variables can be accessed by using dollar symbol in front of the session variable. Suppose if I want to use these session variables in any of the program or in any of the SQL statement I am writing in that session only. Okay, I can access these variables by using this dollar symbol in front of this variables, session variables. Suppose if I want to use this value a equals to 10, I can access by using dollar $a. Okay, if I want to use this place, okay, dollar place, like that we can access the values of these variables in that session. And we cannot modify or change the value of session variables inside the program. Okay, so as these are the session level variables and applicable for entire session, so inside the program or a statement you are writing, you cannot modify the value of these variables. Okay, so the scope is in that session only, and they cannot be modified. So these are called session variables. I will show this as well with the examples. Okay, so what is execute immediate? We can execute a block of code using execute immediate like below. Okay, suppose I am writing a big store procedure, but I want to test that in some blocks. Suppose I cannot write entire 100 lines or 200 lines program and test it at once, right? So I cannot create every time the procedure and test it. Suppose I want to run some block of code, or I want to test some block of code. So by using this execute immediate statement, we can run a single statement or multiple statements, and we can test it or we can run it. Okay, so we use this execute immediate statement to execute a block of code like this. So what is the syntax of this execute immediate? So execute space immediate, and whatever the code you are writing inside this double dollar symbol, so that code will be executed. Okay, so I can simply select this part, and if I run in Snowflake, only this list of statements will run. So this execute statement can contain declare and begin section. So declare section is not mandatory. So if you have any variables you are declaring, you can declare under the declaration section, but this is not mandatory. But whatever the code you write between the begin and end, that code will be executed. Okay, so suppose here I am executing this block of code to calculate the profit. Suppose there is some cost, okay, and we are generating some revenue of after putting some cost of some item or some goods or whatever it is. So what is the profit? How we can decide the profit? So the revenue we are generating minus the cost of that item or goods. So that will be profit, right? So and I am returning this profit. So whenever I execute this statement, it will return the profit variable. Okay, so this is how we can execute some block of code by using the execute immediate. Okay, just try to understand, this is very important in real time while writing the procedure. So as we cannot test entire program at a time, or if I want to do some experiments, or if I want to test something or run something for my testing purpose, so this will be very useful, execute immediate block. Okay, thank you. That is about variables, variable assignment, and execute immediate statement. Okay, let's see some examples. Now let's see some examples on variables. Okay, so I'm taking this and copying it to Snowflake. Okay, so in this video I'm not going to create stored procedures. Instead, I'm going to run the programs by using the execute immediate statement. So I just now I told, right, instead of creating procedures, if we want to run any small blocks of code, okay, so we can use this execute immediate statement. Okay, so the first program is just to demonstrate how we can declare variables and how to assign the values to variables. Okay, this is a small program. I already explained this. So how to derive the full name. So here if you see in the declaration section, I am declaring three variables. Okay, first name, and I am giving a default value as this is, and last name of varchar type, full name of string. Okay, and in the declaration and in the begin section, that means in the actual body of the code, I am creating one more variable, let middle name equals to, okay, I am giving one empty space here. Okay, now I am calculating the last name as, oh, and I am, okay, so here I have declared the last name, right? So for that I am assigning a value to this last name variable. So what I am assigning? Snowflake scripting. Okay, last name equals to Snowflake scripting. Now I am deriving the full name from this first, middle and last name. So how I am deriving? Full name equals to, just I am concatenating the first, middle and last names. Okay, so see, full name equals to this one, and I am just returning the full name. Okay, so let's execute this part of code, or just execute this block. So it is saying this is Snowflake scripting. So I told there is one more way how we can write the values or data into a variable by using the select statement. So for that, just I am commenting this code and decommenting this select one. Okay, so I'm doing the same thing. Select first name, concatenate middle name, concatenate last name. I'm assigning this expression to, okay, full name by using this select statement. Select this expression into full name. Okay, so let's see how it works. Okay, so the same way it works. Okay, so I told you, right, we can assign in two ways by using the expressions like this, assignment expressions, and by using a select statement also we can assign, or we can load the values into variables. Okay, I hope you understood. This is clear. Okay, now let's see one more example. Okay, so the same example, so we have to calculate the profit. So I am executing this block of code where I am declaring a variable called profit of number, type number, with length and precision as 38,2, and I am saying default value as 0.0. Okay, and in the body section, okay, I am saying let cost equals to, let cost, I am declaring another variable cost and assigning the value 100 to that cost, and I am declaring one more variable revenue, and I am assigning a default value of 110. Okay, and I am calculating the profit as profit equals to revenue minus cost. Okay, so what is revenue here? 110. So what is the cost here? 100. So what is the profit? 10. So just to make sure how we can calculate the arithmetic expressions here, okay, I am showing you this example, and it's a demonstration for execute immediate as well. Okay, so this is the output. Profit is 10 rupees, right? Okay, so now let's see how we can work with session variables. Okay, I told you, right, we can declare the variables and assign some values at the session level. Suppose this is one session. Okay, okay, so this is one session. Here if I declare a variable like set a equals to 660, okay, the scope of this variable is until end of this session only. So if I open another worksheet or another session, okay, in another window, So this variable cannot be accessed there. Okay, you can access this variable only in this worksheet in this session. Okay, so I'm setting a equals to 60, set b comma c equals to 220 comma 10, and I'm saying age equals to my age. So if you see, so I'm not defining any data types here. Okay, but based on the value we are giving to this variable, it will consider a as a number, b and c as number or integer. By default it will take the data type by the values we are giving. Okay, so here for the age I'm saying my age is, so this is of varchar or string type, so the age will be of varchar type variable. Okay, now if you execute this, the variables will have the values. Okay, so I have executed all the three statements. Now what I am saying, execute immediate, declare another variable d, okay, of integer type, and begin d equals to a plus b by c. What is a plus b? 60 plus 220, 280 by 10. So 28 will come. So what I am returning? Returning dollar $age, okay, concatenate d. So what is dollar $age here? So what is there in the age already? So if you see here, age is of type varchar and it holds this value. So I am accessing this variable. Okay, this is a session variable. I am accessing this session variable inside the program by using the dollar symbol. You can see here dollar $a, dollar $b, dollar $c, dollar $age. Okay, so what I am returning finally? Return dollar $age. So already this string contains my age is, okay, and I am concatenating the age value. So whatever the value we have calculated here, it was 28, right? So what it will return? My age is 28. So let's see. So you can see the same. My age is 28 as the output. Okay. So this is how you can, okay, declare and assign the session variables in Snowflake. And you can access those variable values by using dollar symbol in front of the variable name. Okay. So let's see one more example. I am setting values, set a comma b comma place 30 52 Hyderabad. Okay, so a equals to 30, b equals to 52, place equals to Hyderabad. Okay, so I am executing this. Now execute immediate. Okay, return dollar place. Okay, Hyderabad, and I am concatenating this one, and I am concatenating dollar a plus dollar b. That means Hyderabad 30 plus 52. So this is just a pin code. So we just use pin code like Hyderabad 75, Hyderabad 58, Hyderabad 82, like that, right? So that's what I want to calculate. Hyderabad hyphen, okay, a plus b, 30 plus 52, 82 it will come. Okay, so just say this, Hyderabad 82 pin code. Okay, so these are just sample programs just for your hands-on practice. So while practicing, just don't copy and paste here, just type these programs. If you type more programs, you will get more hands-on. So in interviews or in real time, it will be very easy for you if you type and practice this. That's why I'm given, even though these are small examples, but you will get hands-on practice. Okay. Okay, so another program just to show you, session variables cannot be modified. Okay, so I told you, right? So if you declare the variable here, and you cannot, if you declare a variable and assign a value in the session inside the program, it can be a stored procedure or execute immediate block. You cannot change the value of that. Okay, so I'm setting set a equals to 60, but here if you see inside this execute immediate block, I'm saying reassigning value 100 to a. Let's see what it will throw, what it will return. Okay, I'm just saying a equals to 100 and return dollar $a. Okay, so see, so you cannot modify the value of session variable. Okay, so it will throw some error because this is the variable defined at the declared at the session level, but we are trying to access that, but we are trying to reassign that in the program level, so it's not working. So you hope you understood. Okay, so session variables cannot be modified inside that program. Okay, so these are some small examples. Try to practice by typing it. Don't copy paste. I'm saying again and again, don't copy paste. Just type the programs and run the programs. Okay, thank you.